Hello family, my name is Chris, I am your home gamer dad, and I welcome you to my next session of Final Girl, beginning Series 2, going up against a menacing alien inside a claustrophobic ship as we jump into the void. So yes, that is the name of the feature film that you're going to be looking for, Into the Void, in order to find today's location, killer, and final girl. So we have Ellen right here, and she's going to be aboard the USS Konrad, which is this giant spaceship. And then, of course, you're going to be stalked by an alien Evomorph, a little creature that gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you go through all of its different stages and as it kills things and all kinds of crazy stuff like that, until it becomes a extremely menacing adult. The USS Konrad and the Evomorph bring a lot of original mechanics to the world of Final Girl. Ones that I'm just like, wow, I can't believe they managed to get them in there. I've played this combination 4 times now, and I've only won once, and every single time I played it has been a completely different experience. The Evomorph is tough, the ship is very interesting in terms of where you can go and whatnot, and I can't do it justice enough just telling you. Let's get down to the table so I can show you everything, and we can do exactly what we need to do. Survive. Ready? Let us jump into the void. Ellen versus the Evomorph aboard the USS Konrad. Welcome to the USS Konrad, where no one can hear you scream, because they're probably all dead thanks to this guy. Alright, so here we go. We got our location for the Konrad, our killer for the Evomorph, and our final girl for Ellen all set out here. There's a lot to talk about with all this, because every single one of these brings something different to the table. Let's start with the Konrad, probably because that's the easiest one to go with. Zooming in on the board, you can actually see some new symbols here, and that would be these purple gear areas. These are special areas that you can use key cards in order to activate functions of the ship. In addition to that, you have these green paths here, these maintenance shafts, that are technically already off. You can't use them, but if you use key cards, which is what these symbols are right here, you can actually open up the maintenance shaft and give you a bit of a shortcut between areas. When doing the setup for the Konrad, you're actually going to be putting key cards down on the board. There's going to be 2 on the board. Ellen starts with 1, and there's a possibility of 3 more being in the item deck. These are very, very useful. You're going to want to collect as many as possible, because as soon as it goes onto the board, like it is, say, down here, then this part is permanently open. You can't take them off of the board. And again, you can also activate certain things in the trash compactor, the furnace, and the bridge, but I'm going to go over those. Actually, you know what? Let's go over those right now. So I added them over here to the tableau just to make it a little easier to see as we go through. And I'll go over some of the cards and everything a little bit later. We got a new card, and then you see the dice over there. But for now, because we're on the Konrad, we have the Crusher, the Incinerator, the Airlock, and the self-destruct system. So if you are in, let's see, we got the trash compactor right here. You can spend 1 key card, and then whenever an enemy or victim ends their movement in the trash compactor, they take 1 damage. Does not affect you or victims following you. So like if a victim moved into there at the end of their turn, they would take a damage. And then of course the enemy, if they ended their turn there, would take a damage. Incinerator requires 2. Whenever an enemy or victim enters the furnace, so they don't have to end their movement, it's just a matter of them entering it, you roll a dice, and then you do one of the various effects. 3 damage, 2 damage, 1 damage, or no effect. Does not affect you or victims following you, which is great. You have the Airlock, which happens in the hangar. This is more of a complicated thing. I don't think I'm going to actually do this. Place this token here during the action phase while the hangar is adjacent to you in space. Discard and open the Airlock, instantly killing everyone. So basically you want to lead the killer into there and then activate the Airlock and blast it out into space. It's very thematic for this type of deal. If you're in the hangar, but roll the 6 dice. On a 5 to 6, you manage to survive. Otherwise, you lose the game. If the killer dies, which happens on this, reveal the final health token. If they come back to life, place them in the junction. That's also terrifying. That means even if you shoot them out into space, they could come back and get you. And then finally, the self-destruct program. You're going to put all 4 there. Once activated, you put here for a countdown. You have to get to an exit space before this hits this spot here. And if you do, then you've escaped and the whole ship explodes and everybody in it dies. If you do not, then you have lost the game regardless. So these are your 4 areas that you can drop key cards in addition to the 4 areas on the board that you can open up the maintenance shafts. Now we're going to move over here to the Evomorph. I'm going to just go ahead and shuffle the Finale and the Dark Power cards right now. But the thing with the Evomorph is that it actually has 3 stages to it throughout the course of the game. You have the hatchling, the youngling, and the adult. It's going to start as a youngling, or I'm sorry, that's the hatchling right there. So it's going to start as a hatchling, which is the smallest portion of it. And that hatchling has 10 attack, which is ridiculous, but only moves at 1 space at a time, so it's slow. The thing is while it's a hatchling, this gauge will not move up so long as, you know, anything other than the hatchling kills somebody. So if you happen to be in a different location, like the Carnival of Blood, for example, and you hit a point where a trap kills a lot of people, and you're still as a hatchling here, this will not move up. Instead, you'll lose time. So this only moves up right now if the hatchling kills it. If it goes up and it hits the thing that says evolve, then it's going to go from hatchling to youngling, and then it's going to disappear from the map. Got a evolutionary thing here just to kind of show you again what I was talking about. So see, only increase bloodlust if the hatchling kills a victim. If bloodlust increases otherwise, lose 1 time. So we are right now a hatchling. Once it evolves to the youngling, as I mentioned, it disappears and that pops off of the screen. So what that happens then is you would take the figure for the hatchling and you would put it on this. This is your ambush deck. When you go to draw a terror card, so basically when the killer phases happens, you're not going to do anything on the killer card, so you're not going to move and attack or whatever. And instead of drawing from the terror deck, you're going to draw the top card from the ambush deck and follow whatever it says. Sometimes it's good, most of the time it's bad, but it's just something that happens. And he is going to stay invisible unless you find something that actually says put him on the board or whatever. Once he evolves to an adult form, let me grab that guy, which is this right here, this menacing, destructive alien creature that's going to definitely kill us. The dark power is revealed. This then rotates, because if he ever disappears, he will ambush us, and ambushing us as an adult is a lot worse than ambushing us as a youngling. And it may happen that he will disappear, depending on what the terror cards say. These have all been shuffled together, obviously, with the Evomorph and the Konrad. So we'll just kind of start putting that as you go back. Hold on. So the way that the tarot card deck works in this one is, you know, you have everybody together. They're all shuffled, all mixed up together, the Konrad and the Evomorph, or your location and your Evomorph. And all you're going to draw from the terror deck are 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 instead of 10. 8 cards instead of 10 for the terror deck. Because again, once it evolves and becomes a youngling and vanishes, you're drawing from this deck. If this deck ever runs out, you just reshuffle it and go again. I'm going to tell you, I've played this particular one a few times, as I mentioned. I've never had this run out, so that I'm not worried about. Before we continue on, why don't we go ahead and do the final health token. So I'm just going to take 2 dice here. This is going to be the starting point. We're starting right here. So I'm just going to roll 2 dice. 5 and a 6, that's 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That goes to the Evomorph. And let's go ahead and roll again. This is our starting point. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be Ellen's final health. Keep these to the side because you may need them later for a particular card that the Evomorph has if it happens to come into play. Now you may notice over here as I put these dice back that the Evomorph only has 4 health to it. That's because it starts at 4 health when it's a hatchling and a youngling. If it ever evolves into an adult, which it most likely will during our playthrough, then it'll heal itself wherever, even if you did a few bits of damage to it, would go from whatever it is up to 10. So that's its max health once it's an adult. At that point, that's, you know, as much as it's going to get, plus any dark powers. If you happen to notice in the minor dark power spot up here, there are 3 slots. This guy's going to gain a lot of minor dark powers, which is awful. So hopefully we don't really see too many of those. But if we do, we'll be able to take care of them as we see fit. Move this back down here as I forgot. The terror starts at 4. We start at 6. As I mentioned, we have 1 key card for Ellen. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at Ellen. Ellen, as you can see up here, has 6 available boosts for her as she rescues victims from the ship, getting them to those escape pods and getting them off the ship before anything bad happens. Lowering terror card, lots of gain of time, health, moving a space, and taking a search card. I'm not a big fan of her special ability, so that's why I have the ultimate dice with me. But we'll see what happens when we get there, and if we actually need to do that. I'm hoping to be able to flip her by the end of this, but we'll see. We shall see. The last thing I want to talk about before we finish setup is the scan card. This came with the Evomorph. You can tell because if you look at the back where it says action, it actually has the little egg symbol on it that represents the Evomorph. And this is a special card that you're only going to use when you fight against this particular killer. And this kind of narrows down the spaces that it could possibly appear in after it vanishes. And that's actually the only time you can use scan, is when the Evomorph has vanished. So you're going to roll the dice, and depending on the results, if you hit nothing, then the terror increases, your turn ends, you lose the time, that's awful. Otherwise, generally, you're going to be placing an X marker in your space saying that, okay, the Evomorph is not here. And then once you have certain ambushes, it's going to be place the Evomorph in a spot that's like the X spot closest to you or something, or doesn't have an X spot. So you kind of narrow down spots where this thing could appear later on once it disappeared. Or if you hit a 3-star, you place the Evomorph in your space and you skip the next killer phase completely. So he doesn't even get a chance to do anything. However, this then is completely removed from the game. But there's 3 of them. You got 3 scans here, so you got plenty of chances to run around and scan. Plus, they're only 1 time, so if you're ever at the point where you have 1 time and you just need to spend it for something, take a scan. Even if you don't use it, they're a good dump card regardless. And then anyway, I want to point out really quickly, I do have the ultimate dice right here. For this particular one, I think the one that searches for items is probably the best one out of this group. But again, it depends. I want to see where I am once I get to this point. Hopefully I get to this point, and I'll make the decision if I want to use them or not. I hope I was able to explain that well enough in terms of what the Konrad and the Evomorph bring to the table, and then of course the particular setup that you need to do for each one of these things. So going forward, everything is pretty much the same. We have our item deck here, but I am going to add in Ellen's flamethrower to the deck. This is a unique item for Ellen. Only Ellen can use this item, which is of course I've already unlocked because I have at least won 1 game with her. So this is going to go in with the item. So I have shuffled the items pretty well. Hopefully I'll be able to find some more key cards and everything. And we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let me shuffle these up and then we'll put them down on the top and flip things over. All right, here we go. Let's just do this. I'm going to give it just a cut to make sure, and let me lay them out here. Standard setup rules for the items. So each one of these little sections are going to get 4 cards, 3 face down, and then the top 3 are all going to be face up. And it's the mess hall, which is the middle one right here, storage, which is the right, and then the armory to the left. So let's check out our top items. First one is remote access. During the action phase, you may move any key cards on the board to either another maintenance shaft or a maintenance card. Oh, that's cool. That means you can kind of switch around key cards that you've played at least twice and then, reactivate things or deactivate stuff and just reuse cards, which is very, very helpful for this particular game. There we are. That's a little bit better. Armory, mess hall, storage. Always got to remember that. Next one in the middle is the Vibro Claw. Ooh, I actually never got that one before. Whenever you successfully reduce damage from an attack with a reaction card, deal an additional damage to your attacker. Oh, that's amazing. It already gives me 1+ damage anyway to my attack cards. And then it gives me an additional +1 for a reaction retaliate card. Oh, that's really cool. And the last one is the regular flamethrower. All damage must be distributed evenly between victims, enemies, and you in that order. Ellen's does only enemies, and that's why hers is better. She only gets 2 uses out of it, but man, look at that. 3 additional damage. That is crazy. Oh, one last thing. The hanger. We have right here a particular token that is the power loader or the power suit that's in this game. I do have the mini for it, but rather than it standing on the board the way it is, because it would just be kind of like here through the course, I'm just going to leave the token. And if I happen to find the keys for the loader, then I'll be able to use that. The loader itself, the super loader, does not get shuffled into the deck because you have to find the keys for it in order to be able to activate it. And then you can just kind of grab it and then it'll go down into your two-handed thing. This will also never go into your backpack. So once you jump out of the loader, you just kind of move this back to the side. All right, setup time. Let's shuffle these up. Grab the one that we need in order to set up the board with. Come on, let's go. Here we go, here we go. And we have Born in Flames. We got 3 victims here that are going to be working on the loader. We got one here. We got one up here in the trash compactor. Well, we got one all the way around. Yes, we do. Got that. We got 2 down here in the armory. And then 3 on the bridge. Take us home and get rid of this thing. All right, let's go ahead and flip our event for the game. Some of these are really good, and some of these are not very good at all. All right. Orphan Girl. The victim closest to you is now the Orphan Girl. Hold on, let me grab that token. Meeple, I meant Meeple, and we're going to put them right in the trash compactor. Right there. She's hiding in the trash. Oh, boy. Okay, while the Orphan Girl is in your space, +1 victims will follow you, and you may freely move through inactive maintenance shafts. Oh, that's awesome. That's so good. Oh, so in a sense that I can go here and grab her, come back, and then just take the shaft down here and start just getting rid of these people that way. Because she'll follow you, and then 2 more victims will follow you, because it's +1 victims as it is. All right, cool. That's a good one. There's some really good events in this game, or at least in this particular setting. That'll help you like getting more key cards out and things along that way. So I think that's about it. Yep, I've covered everything over here. There's no other new cards. Long rest is just over here just to keep it in camera and whatnot. Let's take our 6-0 cards. Walk, walk, short rest, weak attack, and 2 focuses. And get hunting this evil little creature. Yeah, I'm just going to grab these 2 right away just to have them. I have 1 key card in hand right now, which is awesome. Oh, the other thing I forgot to do that I didn't set up was placing the key cards, which there's 1 in the junction and 1 in the storage spot. If I'm in that space, I can spend 1 time to pick up that key card. So there are at least 2 more key cards in the ship that I can pick up. Anywho. We start at 4 horror level right here. So as usual, I'm going to just start with a focus in order to try to lower that and hopefully maybe get some time back. That would be great. Yeah, it would be wonderful to be able to get at least some time back. Nope, but at least I get 1 success out of it. So we'll go down to 3. We'll go here. And then I am going to go ahead. We're going to do the walk. We're going to get that walk going because I want to grab that little girl and use her abilities in order to kind of get around the ship a little bit better. See if we can walk into her space. Maybe even walk in additional space. Nope. Seems like we're just going into her space. Sounds good. Bloop. Hello, little girl. You will follow me, won't you? Yes, you will. So we'll move that down to 4. And then I'm going to actually end the turn right now because I'm going to use my 4. We'll use 2 to buy a sprint. And then we're going to do 1 scan and 1 close call. I'd like to just have kind of more of a rotation of 1 walk, 1 sprint, 1 walk, 1 sprint, and just use that to get around the ship a little better. I am going to go for search cards sooner than later, but for right now, I just need to move around and rescue people. And of course, we just have the 2-0 cards, so we'll just leave them right there. All right, killer's turn. Our little hatchling over here starts smelling blood. It only moves 1 space, so it's going to move here. But then on the next turn, it's going to move again and actually kill somebody. Most of these setups give you 1 round for when the hatchling shifts from like 1 spot to another, getting slightly closer to a victim. So we'll see what happens. But even still, the terror card is flipped, so I'll just flip this over. All right, here we go. If the Evomorph is a hatchling, discard and draw another. All right, well, he's a hatchling, so we're going to draw another one. That's great. Game over, man. Game over. If there are no victims on the board, discard this. Oh, great. All right, so terror card. Oh, really? Terror goes up 1, and then the killer moves towards, which is the hatchling, towards a victim, kills it, and yeah. So this goes back to 4. This little dude scurries over here to the armory because there's 2 guys here, and then just goes in and just stabs one of these victims. All right, so we know that this goes here. We know that this goes up to the evolve. So now we have ourselves a hatchling. So he comes off the board. The hatchling is here, but as we can see over here on this card, this moves down to the hatchling, and upon evolving, he vanishes. So he is off the board and onto this pile of cards here. Bloodlust now increases like normal, so if anybody dies, it just goes up. And on the next killer turn, instead of drawing from this deck, we're going to be drawing from this deck. Now here's always the thing that's interesting. Killer phase is now officially done because the evolve action happened. Panic. If a victim was killed this turn, panic all victims in the killer space. The killer is no longer on the board, so I am going to say that this panic phase does not happen. That's what makes sense to me, because like it's with the killer on the board and there are no killers. So let's just go right back to the action phase and see if we can rescue some people now. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to refocus right here, again, just to try to lower that horror gauge. Let's put this back up to 6. I would love to be able to get a double success or something, and I'd like to buy a distraction to lower the horror as well. This Evomorph loves to raise the horror because he builds tension and then kills you. All right, come on. What do we got? Okay, so we got a star, and I can dump 2 cards to make that a success. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's go ahead and do the short rest and weak attack. Take this here, we'll make that a success. So now it's a double success focus, which means that'll go here, and that goes to 8. Fantastic. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprint first. I could actually use my scan, but I'd rather try to move around the board and see where I end up. All right, come on. What do we got? All right, I got to dump 2 cards or, You know, it's weird. I'm actually going to dump the close call and the walk. I'll dump both of them at the same time to move 2 spaces. So long as I have her going, I may freely move through inactive maintenance shafts. So long as she's with me. So we're just going to go 1, and then we're going to crawl through this. It's inactive, but because I'm with the Orphan Girl, we're in this spot. So we're all here in the hangar together, which is great. And then to be safe, we're going to do a scan. And hopefully we'll be able to put a little X marker in our spot and make sure that he doesn't go. And plus, if we get a double success, the horror goes down 1. That's even better. Highly doubt we're going to get a double success, but you never know. Nope, we get a single success. That's fine. So that means this little X token goes here into this room. Only 1 X token per room. And then when the hatchling does its ambush, if it happens to reappear, then it generally will not be in our spot. So we're a bit safe right now, which is great. I also am down to 6 time because of the scan, because I only had a single success, and from the sprint. So with that said, I have 6 to spend. We're definitely going to take the sprint for 2. We got our walk and our focus here. We'll take the distraction for 3, and I have 1 more, so we'll take another scan. So there we go. That's how that goes. Plop all the zeros down here. We got a close call, a sprint, and we put back this scan. All right, killer phase time, and the way that this works with the Evomorph, because it's vanished from the board, we actually ignore this part up here of him targeting a victim, walking to them, and killing them. Instead, we're going to see what the youngling does in terms of ambushing us. I'm going to flip this over, and we're going to look at the top part of this card and do what it says. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, God, a 7. Oh, God. So there are numbers in the upper right corner of the board. Of each one of these cards, I should say, on both sides. It's different numbers on both sides. The higher the number, the worse of an effect it is. And this is totally, totally terrible. So this is the horror goes up 2 and the bloodlust goes up 2. So 1, 2, and then this goes up 2, and that means that'll go up again. Oh man, I'm so glad I got that distract because we're all the way over here on this side now. Oh no. But at least that ends the killer phase. That's all he's doing. He is still vanished from sight, and we get to start our next phase for the final girl. Hopefully lowering this down and getting some people out of here. All right, first and foremost, distraction. Maybe we can make some noise and send it off to a different part of the ship or something like that. Of course, I'd love the double one, but any success right now is perfectly fine by me. Come on, go. Okay. Again, I'd rather have the double success. I'm actually going to toss the walk and the focus in order to flip that to a double success. I think that'll be better off in the long run. I'd rather have 2 here to lower it by 2 and gain the 2 time. Because ideally, that's kind of what the focus would have done for me if I had done it well. And I might have even had less time than I have here now anyway. So we're back at 4. 8 time. Let's sprint. Let's sprint some people in and out of here in order to be able... If I can move 3, that would be great. But I can't really bank on that. So at least 2 will get 2 people off the ship. And yeah. All right. Oh, yes. Boxcars, if you would, because they're both 6s. But hey, yeah, that's amazing. So I'm going to leave the little orphan girl behind right now. So we're going to move here. We're going to bring these 2 with me. Yay! And they are going to escape out of here. I'm going to go back into the hangar in a moment for her. But until then, I'm going to take a search card because I'd like to keep that in my hand right now. And then, of course, lower the horror level by 1 because I'd like that staying low. So then this will go to 3, and then the search card will come to my hand as well. So that was only 1 movement. I do have 2 more movement. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here. And I'm going to take her down to the armory. So that was 1, 2, 3 down to the armory. And I would actually like to kind of look for like this remote access thing or anything else that happens to be in there. Because I picked up the search card, might as well go ahead and do a search. Roll it up and we get the top card of the item deck because of this. So we go down to 7 on our time and we take remote access, which once again, well, that will go into my backpack actually. During the action phase, I can move any number of key cards around. I don't have any on the board right now, but at the very least, I can do it in the future if I need to. I have 1 key card that I haven't used yet, but I don't need to with the orphan girl follow me around in the shafts. Maintenance tunnel. In the maintenance tunnel, that's what I meant. Anyway, let's scan this particular area and see if we can determine where the Evomorph is. We're not going to be able to get 3 stars, but if we get 2, which we don't, we get 1 star, but that's fine. We'll put the X in here so we know that he's not in this room. We'll go back down to 6, and with no cards in hand, we end our turn right here. All right, so we got all of these zeros coming to us. Sprint for 2. I want to search again for another 2. And then again, we'll take a close call and a scan to finish that out. I have 8 cards in my hand, so that's really good. So we'll put that back, put that back, put that back, and then a focus and a walk. All right, cool. All right, killer's going to go again. I'm actually just going to put this on the bottom of the deck because I don't really have a good discard pile for these things. And this is, again, another reason why there's only 8 cards in the Terror deck because I'm drawing mostly from this right now instead of one of these every turn. And here we go. The next one is 6. Goes down 1. But unfortunately, this may go down 1, but this goes up 2. And now our youngling has evolved into an adult. And that means we have to flip the Dark Power card. Oh God. When revealed, place the Evomorph in the closest space to you without an X and then remove all X's. When drawing ambush cards, draw a +1 and choose the higher one. Oh no. Alright, so Evomorph then, closest space to me is actually right next to me. This is why we scan. This is why we scan, to make sure we don't have him, or else he would have dropped right in our space. Both of the X's go away, and now the killer turn is done. It's completely over. We can move him out of here as well. We're going to put this on the bottom, and then we're going to rotate around. So now whenever we draw from the ambush deck, we have to resolve whatever the top is. Whoop, right there. Oh, right. And he gets 10 health. Okay, so with that said and done, that's actually completely over because whenever the Evomorph evolves, the killer phase immediately ends. You just kind of do whatever it says on the evolving scheme, or on the card, I should say, and then you move on from there. So here we go. Let's go ahead. And the first thing I'm actually going to do, scanning isn't going to matter right now because I can't actually scan stuff, but I am going to search this spot one more time in the hopes to get maybe something else good. At this point, I don't even care what it is. I just need whatever the top card is. Sounds good to me. And we happen to draw emergency access. Move to an adjacent space through an inactive maintenance shaft. All right, so I can actually get rid of the orphan girl, and then I at least get some movement there. Oh, that's pretty cool. I do appreciate all of the movement and versatility for my cards, or not my cards, my key cards, I should say, that I'm getting right now. But I don't need it because the little orphan girl is going to help me get around to where I need to. So why don't we now go ahead and sprint our way out of here. Thank God that I'm able to go through the maintenance shaft. All right, I'll take that. Because remember, victims won't follow you into spaces with killers. So that means I wouldn't have been able to go from left to right here. But because I have the orphan girl with me, I can go 1 up here. Come on. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I've enjoyed your presence, little orphan girl, but we're going to go down here with all 3, because remember, I can have +1 victim following me because of her, and away with all 3 of my my survivors right there. Get in the pod, get out of here. The thing is I don't need the health for anything, so really all 3 of these are going to go. So I'll put the orphan girl into move 1 space, just because she's moved me around a ton of spots. That's perfectly for her to go there. And then we'll put 1 victim in this spot up here, making up for the 2 time that I use for the sprint and the search. And then we'll do another one right here to gain 2 more time. So we'll be at 8 time, which is amazing. And we'll go up to the hangar. And then I'm going to go ahead and focus just to kind of bring it down a little bit more. I should have enough for a distraction. Perfect. Sounds good. In order to be able to buy this particular planning phase. So we'll bring that down to 7. We'll move that to 3. And then, do I want to walk? You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and walk. I think that'll be the best thing to do right now. I need to get to the other side of the ship as fast as possible. At least I can move 1 space. So we'll go here with this dude. I'll take him with me along the way. But I need to get to the other side of the ship to where these guys are. And then I'll probably activate this right here so I can... Do I want to activate this one or this one? Because then I get to the storage and get myself a flamethrower. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm going to end my turn right here. Let's get over to the planning phase. I have 6 time to spend, and this mother right here is going to go and, or whatever this thing is probably just going to go and kill that victim right in front of them. I mean, actually, absolutely, it's going to do that because that's what it's meant to do. It's going to do move and kill in the first shot. So let's do a distraction for 3. We're going to do a sprint for 2. And I only have 1 more left to spend. I don't think it's going to disappear at all. Plus, I have a scan in my hand anyway. So we'll take a close call for 6. And then another focus and another walk. 9 cards in hand this time. I'm doing pretty good at keeping quite a large number of cards in my hand. I do want another search, but I'll do that next time. I just need to move as fast as I can right now. Speaking of moving... He goes in, he sees this dude right there, and with a quick snap of the tail, goes ahead and takes that guy out. Ooh, that's not good. All right, so you'll come off the board, you can go here, and then this will go up 1. So we have, as we can see, it doesn't move that much, but man, it's going to start gaining some power. It can go up to 4 damage. I'm kind of hoping to save some more victims to not let this go up again, but... really all depends on what the tarot card does. And we know it's going to do something terrible. Another game over, man. That's awful. If there are no victims on the board, which there are, terror gauge goes down, and then it moves to a victim spot and kills them. So that's going to go here. He's going to move 2 spots. I think he's actually going to move here. He's going to go 1, 2. Because now, effectively, he's blocking my way to get to the bridge. And I would need to go up and around and down in order to save these people. And that's just the worst possible scenario for me. And I think that's exactly what would happen. So he's going to be in here. He's going to just rip this one to shreds, claw, teeth, drool, all kinds of bad things, and kill this guy. Add this over here. And move it up, and then of course that drops it down to 5. I can push it up only for it to go back down. All right, here we go. Distraction, as always, trying to lower that horror gauge as much as I can. That's always my main goal for this. I could possibly roll 3 dice this round. No, I'd get close, but I wouldn't be able to do it. That would only be if everything was like exactly the way it should be. Okay. Goodbye, short rest and weak attack. My favorite 2 cards to dump, apparently. You two give me another star. Perfect. Love it. I have so much time going into this. That's amazing. I've never had it to this point. I'm either getting much better at this game or I'm getting really lucky at this point. I think I'm just going to walk first. I know I could probably focus, but I'd only put it at a 2. I'd rather just buy another distract and maybe get 2 focuses in my inventory. If I roll really well or get something that I can like throw cards out or whatever, I can move 2 spaces and start moving myself up and around. But if I move 1 space, I can pick up that key card. Ideally, I would love to at least move 1 space. I'm going to toss a close call and a scan to turn one of those into a success. I'll just take this one and make that one a star. So at least I get to move 1 space now. Cost me 1 time. I get to move into this space with this victim. And then while I'm here, another action that I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a time in order to pick up this key card. I'm starting to run out of some room here because I'm getting so much stuff, but we'll put another key card spot here, and then we're going to go ahead and take that from the board and put that right there. So now I have 2 key cards that I can work with and hopefully do something good. Let's put these here. I mean, if I move these up, because I don't think I'm going to get a weapon anytime soon. Ah, man, space with the camera. Oh, boy. Sprinting time, because at least 3 would put me in the bridge, even though that could be a very, very dangerous spot for me. And here we go. We have... Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe I want to do something else, though. So we're definitely going 1, 2... and I do get a 3rd movement. I think I'm just going to move it to the escape pod and get rid of this thing in order to flip my dice, flip my thing in order to gain an ultimate die. So yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to go here. We're going to get you onto escape pod and say, get out of here, you. So unfortunately, Ellen doesn't have any more health to recover. But what we have now are 6 victims here that we can take off. And just to show you what her special ability is when successfully resolving a search action, you may choose to freely look through all the locations, unused. So I can look through all of this location's unused item cards, which right now sits at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards that I have not looked at, and take one of those instead of what's there. No, I'm going to use the ultimate dice here. And what's crazy is that I can actually put 4 victims on this. So, like so. So that's tier 1 are these 4. We'll put the orphan up here. Why not? And then I have tier 2. The only way I'm ever able to take a new dice is by saving another victim. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this search dice right here. So now whenever I search, which I'm going to hopefully start doing again soon, I would roll this dice. And if I happen to hit this card, I'm able to take 2 cards from the top instead of just 1 and choose. So it would be take 2 cards from the item stack and choose 1. This would be then take 3. So it basically just gives me another item and searches through the decks faster, which is why I want this one in comparison to what her ability does. Unfortunately, I don't have any more movement or anything along that way, so I am stuck in the escape pod right now, and I know this dude's going right into the bridge to kill them. I don't know if I'm going to be able to run in there and save them. It really all depends on 1 to 6. So they're always just they're gonna panic over to that side regardless of anything, if this thing doesn't kill them all first. All right, with 6 to spend, we're going to sprint, we're going to search, we're going to take back our walk and our focus, and I have 2 left. Do I want to take another search? I'm going to take another search. Put the distraction back, we got a sprint going back, close call, a scan, and then the rest of our zeros. I'm going to need to start collecting some offensive cards, but I really want to grab that flamethrower first. Oh boy, here we go, stalking in, jumping into the bridge and painting the room with the blood of one of these poor victims. Oh god, oh, poor things. Put that down here for another victim, and up that goes. And now we draw the terror card. Side swipe. Alright, so whenever the Evomorph vanishes, perform the following attack action before it disappears. So it's in the space that it's in. It'll target a victim or a final girl, whoever it is, and it attacks, and then it disappears off the board. But it also gets 3 additional health. This is what I mean. There's so many, heal or dark power, minor dark power cards in here, that this thing could have like a ton more health before I finally go up and face it. But again, this also means that these two victims panic, and because it says 1 to 6 here, no matter what I roll, they would run. So they're like, we're out of here, peace, goodbye. And the poor Evomorph is like, haha, where am I going? I'm gonna drive this myself. Ah, suckers, ha. All right, let's go ahead and walk, see if I can get to that mess hall and maybe get the Vibro Claw or something like that. I'd rather get down to the storage area, but I need to go and rescue those guys as well. All right, I'm going to play my close call and re-roll one of those dice. Take this one and we'll re-roll it. Come on, come on, come on. Nope, got the exact same result. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and move here. I'm going to lose a health, and then I'm going to lose 2 time, which is awful. Not going to have a lot of time this turn around. Let's do a double focus. I'm going to focus first, and then I'm going to focus again. See if we get some luck here and then get a third dice roll. Yes! Oh, that's great. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, gaining back my time makes me feel so happy. And then we're down to 2 again, which means I have to focus. I have to focus again. This way, if I get any type of success, I can roll 3 dice. And that's what I'm running for. Oh, come on. Just a success. A success. That's fine by me. I don't mind losing this, but at least this goes here. And we'll take this one for our 3rd dice. And while we're here, we're going to go ahead and search the mess hall, which means we're going to go ahead and roll this dice along with our 3 dice and see what we get. All right, we got our 4 dice here, rolling them around, shaky, 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 and oh, look at that. Ah, yes, look at that's amazing. So now what we're doing is we're actually drawing 3. We don't get an additional item, but we get more choices. So I'm actually going to move these down a little bit just so we can have some space. So we know that the Vibro Claw is 1. Our second item we can choose is the Super Loader Key. Yes, and then a key card. Okay. I don't really need the key card, I've determined, but I want the Super Loader Key because the Super Loader is awesome. So I'm going to put the Vibro Key on the Vibro, Claw on the bottom. We'll put the key card on top, face up, and we are keeping the Super Loader Key in our backpack. I still need to save these 2 poor unfortunate souls, and that's 1, 2, 3 plus whatever. So, and I only have a sprint card. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my emergency access thing, move to an adjacent space through an inactive maintenance shaft. So I'll pop one of those, and that would move me right here. Yes, I'm in the same room with the killer, but you can freely enter and leave rooms with the killer, and they won't do anything to you. And at least then, if I'm able to sprint, I can go 1, 2, 3, and work my way over to the hangar. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and sprint and roll 3 dice and hope that we get a full 3 movement. Even if we don't, we can get to the junction and a little bit further away from the Evomorph. All right, here we go. Running away, running away. That's what I like to do. We're fine with that. All right, so we get I got really scared when I saw the blanks, but at least we moved 2 spots. Follow me. I will protect you. You guys stay right there. I know the Evomorph can catch us, but who knows? Maybe he'll just disappear and leave us alone. That would be great. Had to do a quick check. I have 4 time in order to spend in order to get stuff. So obviously we're taking all of our zeros right here. We're going to spend 2 for the sprint. And I'm actually going to take 2 for a guard because I'm pretty sure that this guy is, he is. There's no doubt about it. He's coming right at us. He's going to kill us. I can't protect anybody, but at the very least I can, just protect myself. Sorry, it took me a while to actually figure out what was going on and whatnot. But yeah, I need to protect myself against this guy and then just start buying powerful cards and getting into that super loader and then all kinds of stuff. Oh man, he's going to definitely go here because he has the movement. He has 3 movement. He's going to kill 1 and he's going to knock the terror down by 2. Ah, man, I wish I had a distraction, but he gets them all. Oh no. So with victim number 5, that goes up here. So now he's doing 4 damage and can move 3 spaces. He's almost at his max power. And we're once again rolling 2 dice. Well, boo. And now we go to the terror cards, which again, after everything's said and done, we haven't drawn that many. And really, I got all 3 of the game over mans? Are you kidding me? Oh boy. Well, so much for rescuing the last guy. He has decided that he wanted to take him down. So yeah, that's pretty much that right there. So we'll put number 6 here. That'll go down and that goes up. So now he is at his maximum power and ferocity towards us. Rolling 3 dice. It was fun while it lasted. Oh well. Let's go ahead and do a sprint. We are going to run ourselves over to the super loader and jump on into it. Here we go. Perfect. That's fine. I just needed the 2. Sounds good. The 2 movement, I mean. So we'll put that at 5 because that's technically where we are. 1, 2. And then what I'm going to do here is we're going to put the super loader. We're going to say that we triggered it. So vroom, 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 vroom. This thing powers up. Here we are. The super loader. When you have the super loader equipped, which I do right now, victims will not follow you. No problem. There's no one here. Reduce all movement by 1 to a minimum of 1. Reduce all damage taken by 1 to a minimum of 1. And I cannot short or long rest. I'm also going to take both of these off of the map and put down our loader right there. Oh boy, amazing. What's funny, and I'm going to take advantage of this, is that it says the loader, nothing here says that it can't use the maintenance shafts. And I know that's completely unrealistic, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to use one of my key cards, because you can use that as a free action, in order to open... Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use my emergency access card. I'm just going to finish that up. I'm going to discard it, just to kind of move it out of there. And we're going to use this tunnel just like that. It's a free movement from one to the other, but now I don't have it anymore. And here we are in the armory. I still want to get to here... actually, you know what? No. Let's go ahead and do the search action in the armory. I might as well use this dice to the best of my ability and see what other things could be here. Maybe I can use something in order to help me fight this thing. I really just want to make my way over to the furnace because that's where I want to make my last stand. All right, so at least I just get the top card for it. It's something. Hopefully it's something good. And it happens to be another key card. Hey, you know what? That's good because I could use that. Oh, the incinerator really just needs 2. Unless I go back to the hangar. Hang on. Do I want to aliens 3 this, or do I want to aliens this thing? If I aliens 3 it, you get it over to the furnace and you blow it up the way it is. But it says born in flames, so I think what I'm going to do is we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna give this a try and see what happens. I'm at 4 time. I'm gonna spend another walk, and what I'm going to do... Oh man, this is crazy. This is insane. Okay, so I got my 1 space. That's fine. That's good. We're going to move ourselves back over here to the hangar. Well, before I do that, actually, before I move myself back to the hangar, I'm going to use one of my key cards in order to open up the shaft and then go up to the hangar. But I have my remote access, which allows me to move that around to where I want it to go. And now that I am in the hangar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my remote access, 1 point of it, in order to move any key cards on the board to either maintenance shaft or the maintenance area. So I'm going to grab these and I'm going to take my other 2 key cards and we are going to activate the airlock. Once active, place this token in the hangar. I know I skipped over this explaining it, but now we're going to actually do it. This is going to be crazy. Place this token in the hangar. During the action phase, while in the hangar or an adjacent space, I can discard this to open the airlock and instantly kill everyone in the hangar. If the killer dies, I refuel the final health. If it actually has a comeback health, it comes to the junction because it came back to life, a little jerk. If I am in the hangar, or what is that? If you are in the hangar when the airlock is open, roll a dice. On a 5 to 6, I survive. Otherwise, I have also lost. Game over. You do not flip your final health token. Oh, man. Yeah, all right. We're aliens doing this. Oh, that's great. Yeah, come get me, you bee. Come on. Let's go. I don't want to use the word because it's a family channel, but you all know what's happening. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on. And I'm actually going to discard short rest in order to bring myself back up to 4, 4 time. Because I'm going to buy myself a retaliate. At the very least, if I can do some damage to this thing, that would be fine by me. And then hopefully I can survive a little bit longer in order to fight it. Oh man, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe it's happening. All right, boom, boom. So this Evomorph is in my spot. Giant monster versus me in a mech suit. Look at this. This is crazy. I wonder if like the size difference is kind of that same way. Oh man. All right, and now you're going to attack me for 4. Play the retaliate card in order to be able to block the attack and then, of course, retaliate with some damage of my own. Here we go. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So the super loader does 2 damage. That does 2 damage. So technically I do 4 damage. So the entire the side swipe is gone, and then I do an additional damage to it. Not that it's matter. I'm going to blow this thing out the airlock anyway, but at least I did some damage to it, and I was managed to not take any damage at all. That is fantastic. I actually forgot to put these back into the thingy. Hold on one moment. These would actually all come back to my hand as well, and then I bought my Retaliate, and then we have a 0-0, a Search, and a Sprint. Sorry, I'm just getting really excited. I'm envisioning the way that this is going to turn out, and so I want to see it happen. I want to see it play out. Okay, so we know we did Retaliate. I'm just going to move that over here. I'm just piling my key cards together. It's really not going to matter at all. What could matter, and what could really screw me over, is this terror card. So, Exoskeleton. Oh man, take a black final health token from the reserve and place it on top of the Evomorph's health. This does not increase Evomorph's health. Instead, when you must reveal the final health token, reveal both simultaneously and increase the horror level. This is what I was talking about when I meant that you needed to keep all of these within reach and still face down, because what I'm doing is I'm just going to take this one right here. So it's not that he has two, it's that once he dies, once I blow him out the airlock, I flip both of these. So it's a greater chance for him to come back, which is awful. But there's still gonna be a chance that they're both blank. But anyway, that goes to 5. Oh man. All right, it's our turn. It's our turn. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I want to blow him out the airlock and everything, but I also want to generally survive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk, because if I can move here, then I'll be able to just, kind of lock him in there, and then I won't need to roll, because I won't be in the same space, and all I need to do is be adjacent in order to, gonna dump my 2 focus cards right here, turn that into a success, we know that is, and I'm gonna back up over to this spot. See, it says, during the action phase, which I'm in right now, while in the hangar or an adjacent space. So now I am in an adjacent space. I can discard that, open the airlock, and instantly kill this thing. I wish I had another key card in order to be able to like go to a spot where he can't follow me, but he immediately dies. And I do not, because if you are in the hangar, which I am not, that's when I would roll the dice. Out it goes! Flies out into space! And now we have to see if it is dead. Alright. Next to each other. If any one of these is a heart, then it comes back to the health. I mean, all of this is gone. It immediately is dead. Dead, 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 dead. Flip. Blank. Flip. Goodbye, you jerk. Into the depths of space you go. Oh, it's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, gosh. And just out of curiosity, we would have been totally dead otherwise. And its finale was Death in the Dark. When drawing ambush cards, +1 and choose. It's basically the exact same thing, but he constantly ambushes at the end of every turn. Oh, wow. I can't believe we did that. That was amazing. You did it. You survived an extraterrestrial alien encounter. That was awesome. Oh, man, I've never used the airlock before. I've always had that maintenance card there and everything, and I've usually like the furnace and the compactor and everything. I never did the self-destruct, and it's like, that was something that's like, it presented itself in a way where I'm like, I have to do this. I have to see how this works and see if it works out in my favor or whatever. Try to not do any dice rolls and whatnot, and wow, I can't believe I blew that thing out into the nothingness of space. Wow, I really shot it out into the void and everything. I'm so excited and so pumped by the way that turned out. And I hope that I didn't screw anything up. Of course, if I messed up anything as I was playing, I put it on screen. And I'm sure you guys would have told me as well, which I never mind at all. It's like, we have to know that all the rules are being followed and whatnot. And if anything comes up, please let me know. But I think I did that as best as I could. And it was, what an ending. Guys, thank you so much for joining me in this session of Final Girl as I took down the Evomorph on the USS Konrad. Let me know what you think of this combination. This is now the beginning of the Series 2 run that I'm going to do, so I got a whole lot more stuff ahead of me. Did you like the Evomorph? Do you like his mechanics? Do you like the Konrad mechanics? And just the way that it kind of all comes together, you know, taking influences from various areas and bringing it to the world of Final Girl, jumping into the super loader, shooting about the airlock, the self-destruct program, the maintenance cars, the orphan girl. There's so many things that you know where they're from, or at least those that are familiar with the Alien franchise, that it's like, oh, okay, I see that. I see it. Oh, that's great. And it all shows up in one way or another. So amazing. As far as which feature film I'm going to be covering next, I'm going to let you guys decide that. Be sure to keep an eye on the Home Gamer Dad community tab, so this way you can see the poll when it finally goes out. There are 4 more feature films, plus the vignette. The vignette's going to be a completely separate thing, but I'm going to let you guys tell me which one of the 4 you want to see me go up against. It'll be that killer, that location, and I'll pick a final girl from there. As always, thank you guys so much. You've been absolutely amazing. Take care of yourselves and each other. We are family forever, gaming together. I would absolutely 100% save every one of you whenever I open up the airlock. Just got to grab that belt or rope, tie it around you, and hold you really tight. Hold on to the grate as the evil, nasty beast that's trying to kill all of us is shot out into the nothingness of space. I can't believe that happened. That was great. I don't even care if I messed everything up. Narratively, that was an amazing ending. And that's where we're at right now. Thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next one. Hopefully it'll be just as epic as this one.